Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Welcome back to my channel. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook. All right, today we want to take a look at the very strange death of Kenneka Jenkins. This here is Kenneka Jenkins. She was 19 years old when she died. She was found frozen to death inside a walk-in freezer in the Crowne Plaza O'Hare. Let's pull out the man card. Inside the Crowne Plaza O'Hare inside the Crowne Plaza O'Hare Hotel outside Chicago. Okay, she was very drunk. She had been at a party. Just a lot of strange stuff about this. So the first question I want to know, and her mother believes, her mother exact quote is, "Someone killed my child." Okay, she believes someone killed Kenneka. Okay, so she was only 19. She was found frozen to death inside an empty kitchen area, inside a walk-in freezer. So many weird things about this, and we're going to take a look at this. Karmic Shift wanted to jump out. So the first question I want to ask, and then we'll go over some of the details, is, was she murdered? Was Kenneka Jenkins murdered? And we're going to throw two sides, and we're just going to see if we see a malicious person on the other side. Okay, and I'm just going to represent that separately as a man. Very interesting. All right, so what is strange about this? Okay, well, she froze to death inside of a walk-in freezer. Okay, and anybody who's worked in food service, like you worked at Arby's, you worked at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at a place called Red Barn. Red Barn doesn't exist anymore. Ever hear of Red Barn? Okay, you got to be pretty old to hear of Red Barn. Okay, so I, like everyone else who ever worked in one of these places, was at some point shoved into the walk-in freezer, and you're like, wow, it's cold in here, and you realize there's a plunger on the door that you could push, and it opens the door. Okay, so a big question is, well, why didn't she just push the plunger? Because there's a plunger, and everybody knows this, and everybody gets shoved into the freezer at some point, and they hold the door closed, and they're laughing outside, but they can only stand to hold the door closed for so long. So how does that happen? Okay, and there's videotape of her walking around for over an hour in the lower levels of the O'Hare Hotel. She's stumbling around. She's stumbling into walls. She's obviously very drunk. And so toxicology shows that she did have alcohol in her system, and she had some prescription drugs in her system, but she didn't have any date rape drugs in her system. And we don't see anybody on the tapes with her as she's walking around. On the other hand, she has a shoe off. She has scrapes on her legs. She has a swollen brain. Okay, a chipped tooth, messed up hair. What's going on? Okay, so the first question I want to ask is, relationship-wise, was she murdered? Okay, over here, this would be a murderer. Okay, and the first thing I want to look for on this side is a murderer card. Okay, well, I have the Angel Trinity Sun. 4 and 11, 15, 4 clubs. 4 clubs is opportunistic. 4 clubs is just activities and opportunities. Okay, there's no this is very red. No murders. On her side, it's darker. Okay, we're seeing some darker cards. let's just read this. Angel, Trinity, Son. There's no guilty parties here. People are working with her, and it's all clear. Everyone's been cleared. Everyone's been found innocent, and there's no guilt over here. That's interesting, because I actually thought she would be assaulted or raped or beaten. Let's see what her side says, because I don't know how you get a swollen brain. She could have just simply fallen and injured her head and hit her head herself, because she was obviously very intoxicated. What's happening on her side? Snake, broken chalice, roses, 5 and 12, 17, 5 hearts, reacting to circumstances. This could potentially indicate a woman. There is a transvestite person named Irene who was at the party, okay? And she goes by the street name Gina Lopez. And someone was implicating this person, this trans person, Gina Lopez, as the person who killed her. So this snake could indicate that. A snake looking like a woman. Let's just ask some more questions. We're going to figure out what these cards mean as we go on, and just try to figure out this mystery. Okay, was Kenneka, this lovely little 19-year-old girl, okay, she had her whole life ahead of her, was she assaulted? Was there an assault that we didn't see off camera? Was there an assault, or was there an assault? Let's just ask that. Was she assaulted? Was there like an attempted rape? Was there an assault? And we'll see that in the cards if there was an attempt to rape her, because she's a young girl. Okay, kind of see that. Got the no card. Okay, so was she assaulted? Let me write that question down. A. Because the police have ruled this an accident due to alcohol intoxication. But it's just so strange. Okay, so was she assaulted? Veil, star, Bethlehem, mustard seed, and no. No often means no. Okay, something hidden. Mustard seed is pills. Pills kind of pushed her. Yeah. These are all drugs cards. These are all drugs cards. Okay. Mustard seed is pills. Star Bethlehem is affecting everything. Veil is crossing over the veil like a bad trip. No, she wasn't assaulted. She was just really, really high and drunk. She was really, really high and drunk. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm not seeing anybody over here. And I asked, was she assaulted? Okay, and I'm not seeing any people. There's no people here. Not seeing any people here. I'm going to take this king away, because it's just in my way. Did she injure herself? Okay, did she injure herself? Her brain was swollen. How does your brain get swollen? Okay, a blow to the head. Okay, did she injure herself, like stumble and fall and whack her head? Because that would explain why she didn't just push the plunger and open the refrigerator. So did she whack her head? Did she injure herself? And that's why she didn't open the door. Roadblock, handcuffs, devil, cross. Well, now a devil's showing up. Did she injure herself? Okay, devil can also mean stuck. So we got two stuck cards. Roadblock, handcuffs, devil, cross. Cross can be a burden, heavy, very heavy. 11, 13, 18, escalating, step by step. And changes. It's a 5. 5 diamonds. 5 diamonds, 5 spades. 2 5s. Cross is like the back. It's also the body. It's also a very spiritual card. She was really, okay, I specifically asked, did she injure herself? Okay, a blow to the head is an ace of spades. An injury can be a 10 spades or a 4 spades. I got roadblock. This could indicate that someone blocked the door, an evil person blocked the door of the freezer. That could indicate that somebody blocked the door of the freezer. Did someone block the door of the freezer? Because I don't see an injury per se in these cards. Did someone block the door of the freezer and keep her in? Because this has happened to me, but they always go away eventually and you just get out. And then you can scream, you know. Did she block the door? Did someone block the door of the freezer? Maliciously or jokingly? Ten spades. Back this up a little bit. Okay, did someone block the door? 16, 19, 5 clubs. 5 clubs in, you know, when it's about people is 2 or more. 6 diamonds hand in hand. 3 spades. 10 hearts can be drunkenness or joking around. 10 spades, bad ending. This can say that many people were messing with her and just joking around, and it ended in her death, a disaster. Is there any other way to read this? Okay, drunkenness, many people, very drunk, repeated actions ended in disaster. So I asked, did someone block the door? I think someone blocked the door. And here we have a devil and block. We have a devil blocking. And I asked, did someone block the door? Okay, and this question is, did she injure herself? I don't see her injuring herself. I see a devil and blocking the door. So I asked, did someone block the door? Okay, which would explain why she didn't get out of the freezer. Because there's a plunger. You just push the plunger. Many people screwing around with her, just joking around, very drunk, and it ended in disaster. Wow. Wow. Because this is not on the camera. I think someone, initially at least, held her inside the freezer. Okay, and then she was so drunk and high because there were prescription pills in her, and they were just kept, the pills were releasing, and then she was drunk, and then she was cold, and she was hypothermic. So all that working together, she may have just not realized after a while, she may have become, more impaired because of the cold. And she just didn't realize after a little while and the joke was over, she didn't realize that she could still get out. And she didn't get out. Instead, she froze to death. Or maybe she was being a little dramatic. I don't know. Okay. Let's recap. The very strange death of Kenneka Jenkins on September 10th, 2017. She froze to death in a freezer inside the Crowne Plaza O'Hare Hotel in Chicago. Young girl, beautiful girl. First question is, I wanted to know, did someone murder her? There's nothing over here about anyone murdering her. People are innocent. And there's no murder. There's no intention. There's no planning. There's no drug deal. There's no desire to hurt Kenneka. Okay, this is very innocent. Okay, so no one intentionally hurt Kenneka. Okay, no one intentionally killed Kenneka. What's going on over here? Okay, she was really not in her right mind. She was really messed up. Let's see, 5 and 12, 17. She was just reacting. It could indicate another woman. This is still a little, maybe it was led by other women who were jealous. The snake is jealous of her beauty. She's a beautiful girl. A broken relationship and a snake jealous, another woman jealous of her beauty. She's a beautiful girl. So this up here could be led by another woman. Okay. Did she injure herself? Okay. Did she injure herself? And that's why she couldn't open it? No. Okay, it's all the drugs. These are all drug cards. No, she didn't injure herself. She was just really messed up with the drugs. She was really messed up with the drugs. And prescriptions and alcohol. I said, did someone block the door? Well, here a devil shows up blocking the door. A devil binding and blocking the door, which makes sense. Okay, and they did it for a while. And these are people that she knows very well, that she's very closely connected to, the Seven Cross. Okay, and finally, I said, did someone block the door? So here, yeah, so 2, okay, this was she assaulted? No, she was very drugged out. 3, did she injure herself? No, someone blocked the door. 4, was someone blocking the door? Because that's what you do. You shove somebody in the freezer and you hold the door closed. Yeah, a whole bunch of people did it. I think it's a snake. It was led by women. It may have been a bunch of women, but a bunch of people just joking around, really drunk, really high, really just messing around, and it ended in disaster. So I conclude that her friends, people that she knew very well, they were also at that party and they were very drunk, and they at some point they found her down there. Somebody went looking for her, particularly a woman, and they just kind of shoved her into the freezer like a joke, like ha ha ha, and then they held the door closed. This has happened to me like several times, 2 or 3 times, and it's just a joke. But she was so high and impaired, and they were so high and impaired, I think they played the joke too long, and it's a terrible accident that resulted in her death, in a tragedy. So, the police ruled it an accident due to alcohol. I agree. It was not intentional murder, but it appears that others were involved. And that's a wrinkle that I didn't know. So others were involved, but they did not intentionally murder Kenneka. It was just I think it was a drunken joke. So that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method.